Oh. I should ask, has anybody seen, because I've been taking these recordings and I've been posting them on the Isle versus, has anybody seen them there or had the opportunity to connect with them there? I figured that it's probably going to be helpful for people who aren't able to join us, so I'm just going to continue to do that.
Tiffany, where do you post them on the Isle?
So it's in the Lore Keeper Roundhouse. So if you're not a member of the Lore Keeper Roundhouse, join. And one of the tabs in the Lore Keeper Roundhouse is I think I call it the Sacred Grove. And so that's the place where I have everything to do with the Ogham meditations. And yeah, I think from previous times we've done it, I've got the write-ups for most of the trees there. And so what I've been doing is every time we have an Ogham meditation, I go into the old write-up and I change the date on it. I make the date current so that it pops up to the top again, so that it's easily accessible. So Willow, here is the image from Karen Cater's book. You will note that, and it's funny, I'm not quite sure, let me show you. So you'll note that she shows it as being 5 strokes to the right. And you'll see that there's a couple of places where, so she shifts, she switches Ash and Willow, but I keep going back, I'm like checking, and it really does go Willow, Ash, and I'm not quite sure why that got twisted around. So every once in a while you'll see these flips. I think for she may have done it because of where it shows up in the Robert Graves calendar approach. So anyways, I don't look at it for the actual Ogham, I do look at it for what the image is, which is fantastic. And then this is the image, so gorgeous, from which actually does have the 4, from The Voice of the Trees by Mickie Mueller. So you see her with her bowl of water that has the moon reflected in it, and the owl, and just her eyes gazing off into the distance. So those are the 2 images that you certainly can have in your mind's eye. And then I also have a beautiful Willow in Snow, which we will focus on. One of the last times that we did the Ogham meditation, and maybe somebody here can remember, I have here a collective poem. So I think what happened was, and I'm not sure why, it's because I have poems that I read for all of them. They're in storage right now, and I will get them again, hopefully within the next month. But for this one, I think there was something about when we came out of meditation, everybody had like a particular statement, and I wrote down the statements and then I put it together in a collective poem, which is called Soul Retrieval. So I'm going to use that as our entrance into the meditation to connect with Willow. So I'm going to invite you to get into your inner meditative space and switch this. And there, look at that. It's like it's got the sun and the water and the snow. And just turning on my speaker. Just start to focus on your breath. Be aware of that inhale and exhale, dropping your breath deep into your body. As you inhale, feel the expansion of your torso, the expansion of your diaphragm. And as you exhale, allow yourself to release any tension or thoughts, anything that might be stopping you from being fully present, fully connected with the energy of Willow. And as you breathe, just allow the words of this collective poem, Soul Retrieval, flow over you. I will flow and be flexible. Listen to your heart. Everything and everyone is connected. Just be quiet within and lay by my side. I am nature. Spend more time with me. Moist, green, filtered light of healing. Light in green shadows dancing on the wind. The dappled light of Willow speaks to me of wonder, of resilience and suppleness. Safe embrace of flowing branches. Yes, I am a witch. Don't bury or hide your own forces. We welcome and need your whole heart with us. Move on. You can remove the barriers as easily as you move my branches, strong mother. Come back to meet your true self. And allow those words to flow over you. Allow Willow to flow over you. And be open to the journey, to the insights, to the message. start to bring your awareness back to your breath. Just take another moment or two to connect with Willow one last time, to hear any final message or reflection. The inhale and the exhale, following the flow of that expansion and contraction, start to bring your awareness back to the place in which you sit. Slowly bringing yourself to the here and now, and bringing back those insights. When you're ready, open up your eyes. So, stop share, come back. So I'm just going to take a moment. I'm just going to read through some of what I have here and share a little bit of what came up for me, and then I'm going to stop the recording and invite everybody else to share as well. So I did post this. I just have some information from a couple of the books. So I have the Ogham Sketchbook by Karen Cater, which I showed the picture for. There's so much of Willow, which is, I mean, it's emotion, it's the water. I've worked with the energy of Willow for helping to soothe grief, feeling like those branches just wrap around you. So Karen Cater talks about that: sorrow, loss, flexibility, adaptability, wisdom gained through adversity, sleep and dreams. She talks about the seeds of willow. They're quite downy, being used to stuff pillows, and that opens up connection to the other world and inviting the wisdom that comes through the dreams. Decoction of willow bark will relieve pain, fever, inflammation. And the Neolithic peoples constructed woven willow pathways which stretched for miles across boggy land. There is there's an interesting, you can see pictures. I'm not sure if it was willow that was used for this, but in Glastonbury, the lake people had all of these pathways. So I imagine that they would have used, they probably did use the willow for that. The Woodland bard, John Wilcott, in his book Bathing in the Fae's Breath, which some of you know I love a lot, says the spirit of Saille, Saille, I think is how it's pronounced. So the spirit of Saille gives us the names that we carry during our times on the world for others to identify us by. So we are named by Willow. And that bards say our names should be confirmed through being blessed by water flowing beside willows and under the light of the moon. Our names are bonded to us to serve as inspiration, to remind us and others about our vision, our destiny, and our place amongst all things on the earth. So there is this sense of, being held. I found in my meditation, there was some personal messages that were coming through, but in the main, it was this sense of wovenness. It had a sense of, certainly that connection with water, which allows for the flow, but in some ways also almost makes an ungroundedness with Willow, right? It's like the willows in the storm are the ones that can topple over. And yet there's something about the branches which are used just to weave so many things of strength. And so there's that almost duality, the duality of the nature that I felt come through. So those are some Willow thoughts to carry us through for the next couple of weeks for people who are joining us in the recording. I'm going to say goodbye and close out the recording and then open up the sharing for people who are here live. So, bye everybody.